Alright YouTube family, this is Aqua Ninja, and obviously there's a lot of debate on the new operating system, Android N, and of course I'm in the beta program, as you can see right there. So I'm going to give you guys the full review, all the settings, every single thing you can do with this operating system, including going through every single setting screen and all of the new features, the hidden features, every feature that you can think of on Android N. So this may or may not be a very long video, but for those who actually are like me, like super nerdy, and you want to know all the cool stuff with it, you're actually going to get a nice treat with this one. All right. So first, we all know about the setting app drawer not working currently with the landscape point of view, so I had to switch it back to that. But so I'm gonna walk you through it from the bottom to the top, of course. Go into About Phone. You've already seen all of these screens right here from every other person that has Android N right now. But one of the cool things to note is if you actually go to system updates, oh, new stuff here. You can actually check for the update, and when you're in the beta, it'll actually give you little notifications when the next update will be. So we already know in advance when the update is going to be. Let's go to System UI Tuner. You get to this by simply going to this screen right here, and as you see the settings icon, all you do is you click it, you hold it, and it'll start spinning, and when it starts spinning you get the System UI Tuner, for all those who don't know. You get cool things like show important settings. Essentially that one right there, I have no idea what it does, I'm gonna be honest with you. Split screen swipe up gesture basically means, you know, from the recent key you just swipe that up and you can get split screen. Works in landscape too as well, which is really cool for an alpha build especially. Disable fast toggle is pretty obvious what that does. Now, do not disturb is actually completely revamped for this. Like, do not disturb every generation gets a little bit better. With this one, you can show the volume controls or show the button shortcuts, so it's pretty nice actually. Color and appearance, probably this is a ROM feature that I'm very excited that they actually brought into this. Night mode just literally allows you to be able to see the whole menu and things like that in a dark theme versus the light theme, and you know, it's really cool in that regard that you can do that. Calibrate Display allows you to actually be able to condense the screen down to whatever you want it to be, so you can make it more red, more blue, more green. And for people like me, like I like it a little bit cooler on the eyes, so I keep it, as you can notice, blue was a little bit higher than the rest of them, so that way it's slightly blue tinted, which is better for nighttime viewing, and also it's easier on the battery because it's less reds and things like that. So it's cool that you can actually fine-tune that thing. Now here's one of the coolest things. The last one right here allows you to pick what's on your status bar or not. So right at the top of the screen you can see how it's got the cast little logo. If I've turned cast off, it'll make that go away. You can turn any feature you want off, including like cellular data. Notice how it went away. So literally every part of the UI on the top can be turned on or off, which is really cool if you're that type of person. You don't have a SIM card in, you don't want it to say like you don't have a SIM card, you can take that away if you want. All right, let's keep going. Look at it. I'm flying through these. I'm letting you guys get a full view, so you can pause at any point so you can see everything in depth, or you can watch it with me in real time. This is all of the developer options, and as you can see, we got some new ones like convert to file encryption, which is pretty cool, especially because people like me, we actually use the developer console to develop apps and or programs for Android, so it makes it a lot easier to test your things right on the go. Like you could just put this into the Android Studio 6.0 and just run it like that. You got to enable multiplex web view now, so that's pretty cool. And as you can see, automatic system updates. So as soon as you get an OTA update on the Nexus 6P, nowadays you can just, it literally will flash itself. if you're in the Android beta program, so that's pretty cool. Most of the other settings are straight ripped from the Marshmallow variant. There's a few new ones, as you can see. And as I said before, I'm going to show you every single setting screen, so that way you know literally all of the background cool stuff that's happening with your phone. Some stuff like those on the go is going to be really hard to test that, but I'm going to obviously test that. Force activities to be resizable. And that's something that's very interesting to note, because essentially it's saying if your app like Google Maps is a perfect example where you're not supposed to be able to resize that, but you can if you click that, and it actually seems to work pretty fine for most apps. It could crash a couple apps though, so obviously this is alpha build. Certain things will and certain things won't work. Accessibility, most of these you can just edit on the QuickTime, but I'll show you how to do that right now so we can save an extra step with settings as well. From right here you can just click edit, and as you can see you have all of the settings in your thing. You can move them around in any order you want. So let's say auto rotate, I can move it to here, move it back. You can move any of these anywhere you want, and you can also add tiles, and you can take tiles away. So color invert, like you've seen it right there, is super easy to put on like that. You don't have to actually go back to this anymore, really, which is pretty cool. High contrast text is pretty cool, where if you want it to be a little bit more, the white's more white, the black's more dark. It's a pretty good, cool thing. Date and time. I even go into date and time. I said I'm showing you every setting. Nothing changed in that, of course. And as you notice, one of the cool things is with this is it shows the set of what, you know, the most important feature of that setting below it. So battery 89%, memory 2.1 of 2.6, you know, signed in as me, and all of those things. So that way, even if you're, most times, you know, you just want to check and see if those are up to standard, so you can see that right from the first screen. You don't have to actually go into the setting to see that. Language and import, all of these are exactly the same as they were on Marshmallow. You can actually have virtual keyboard. For those who don't have Marshmallow, is talking about like you can have virtual keyboards like on a thing, and you can customize how you want it to look. It's split view, things like that. It's really cool. Google accounts and security are exactly the same from Lollipop, so I won't show you those. Or I'll go through it really fast, because, you know, I said I was gonna go through every one of them. This is Google is huge now for those. So you can see, boom, each of these, and then each of these pages has their own page of settings. So let's say sign in and security, you know, you can do that, and then these have additional settings. That's pretty cool. ICE is in this now, which that means, let's say hypothetically you are, you know, having a heart attack, or, you know, something like that happens, and somebody comes over to you like EMT, and they're like, does he have any allergies? Is he gonna be okay? They can immediately check your phone nowadays and see if you have any allergies and things like that. It's like basically a card that lets people know different information like that about you. So as you can see, each of these has their own separate menu because they're its own separate entity. Search and Now is the only really unique one because it brings you to the Google Now thing. If you have Marshmallow, you get Now and Tap, which ironically is off by default, which is kind of weird, right? Like you would expect that to be on since it's a kind of the iconic aesthetic feature of Marshmallow, but yeah, it's off by default. But it's pretty cool, you know. They have they give you those options. Security Now, obviously, you can have the encryption on by default. You can't actually turn it off unless you root your device, and since Android N is not going to have a chainfire root for at least another month or so, yeah, I expect that to be in the deference zone. We got location, pretty much the same as it always has been. Now we're going to get into the interesting stuff, guys. Users and Tap and Pay are literally exactly the same, but I will click on them. Ooh, look at the animation. Did you notice that little? It's actually intentional. It actually wanted to do that little thing right there. It let you know the average percent used, how much is free, and how many apps are even running in the background right now. Battery looks completely revamped, where it actually shows you not only this little dotted line projection scale, but also all of the different granules of what you're thinking, like cellular network, how strong your signals is, awake time, screen on time, and of course if you go to screen, it'll tell you the screen on time, which for me is about an hour, and I'm up to 88%, so that's projected about 7 hours screen on time. It's pretty impressive. And this is while recording, making videos. So battery life on Android N, for the couple of days I've been using it, because I was one of the first testers. You can see that in the link below my me getting Android N. So yeah, I've been at a test for a few days now, and it's been really solid in terms of battery life. Because this is the main question I get, like, you know, is this a stable enough build for me to download it, or should I get this on my Nexus device? And I mean, if you're one of those guys who like really wants to see the next version of Android, I would say definitely. But this is not a daily driver usable version of Android yet. I mean, you can see certain things like not even like the lag, but more like force closes and things like that, where it's not really beneficial for you to be if you're not like a developer, literally. But not to say if you're a tech enthusiast, I say go for it. So here's a new internal storage screen. It's a lot nicer, newer looking, right? It's no more of those color bars and things like that. It's just nice, solid. This is your apps, there's your images, videos, boom, boom, boom. You can always clear cache data. That's one of those words that like is like a data versus data. Cache. Some people say cache, some people say cached. I say whatever word doesn't sound like the pre-existing word. So cache sounds like cash. So I'm not gonna, then you have to determine, am I talking about the money, or am I talking about the compressed type of cache? Like, there's no point. GIF or GIF. Well, GIF sounds like a gift, like a thing you give presents to. So I'm not gonna use that. So that's a quick little rant about words. Don't worry about that. Apps install really cool. It shows you all the apps. You don't have to, no longer you have to go through a menu to go through another menu to go through another menu to find your apps. No, now it's just one screen. It even lets you see the enabled, the disabled. For people like me that don't like system apps on there sometimes. With this version of Android, is actually really awesome, because at the beginning, you get prompted to which apps you want to even be on your phone. More so than Marshmallow even. Like, it'll actually tell you, like, do you want the Google apps? Like, you don't have to even get the Google apps. And since it's a Nexus device, it doesn't come with any other apps, so you can literally start with like 3 apps if you want, which is just like Play Store, the calendar, and Hangouts. Like, you can literally just have that. Sound, actually a couple new revisions. You got the mono playback, so this allows you to always hear mono if you're the type of person that you have, like headphones that are maybe not of the best quality, and you just want to hear that full boom in your ear all the time. You can actually have mono now. Alarm ringtone's pretty cool. Emergency broadcast, now they will actually just hit you in the face with anything that's close to you. If a tornado, like I'm in Florida, so we get a couple of like tornado watches, the warnings and things like that. It'll hit you in the face with it. You can turn it on and off, so that's pretty cool. Adaptive brightness has been here since Marshmallow, and you now can do that. I honestly, this is my personal opinion. Can I give it? All right, I'm gonna give it to you. I feel like it reduces battery life, and you can hit me in the comments section if you think that I'm being overly cautious about it. But I feel like it drains battery life ever so slightly, maybe about 5% from 100 to 0. But it's not really worth it to me unless you're the type of person that you go from like dark environments to light environments to you're being in the sun and things like that. Like, and you don't want to keep going to your settings and adjusting this little, toggle here. But for me, like typically I just keep it at one part like semi dull, and I just, you know, like when I'm actually just being me, I'm like down here somewhere with adaptive brightness, adaptive display off, so it looks like it's right about here. So it's down here, but it is as bright as this, and that works for me. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. This is a really cool feature right here that it just got added, where you can rotate the contents of your screen or stay in portrait view, like when your screen tilts for the like home screen. So some people like the orientation that it already is, and some people don't. So it all depends on that kind of mantra. All right, getting back to it, we're gonna go into the more settings. So you got airplane, Wi-Fi calling, VPN, all of these. Actually, all of those are exactly the same as Marshmallow. Data usage gives a cool little new screen where you can actually see the billing cycle. You can turn data saver on or off, which essentially allows you to conserve the amount of data that comes into your thing. And it's on a system-wide basis, so if you're on YouTube or Netflix, things like that, you got a monthly bill, then definitely you want to do that. And from what I've heard from other people like Pocket Now, is if you have that on and you do have unlimited data, it'll actually make pages load slightly faster. From real world testing, I've noticed that it's actually, yeah, just a little bit faster than normal things. It kind of, the resolution is slightly lower, but I mean, it's not noticeable. I just know because I mean, I'm like a nerd and I actually like save pictures and stuff like that. But that really wouldn't affect you seeing it though. Like it really wouldn't. This is a new Bluetooth screen, and the funny thing is now it has like some type of new codecs for the Bluetooth, so you can pair your phone with another phone and things like that while pairing it with another device, as long as the device is an LE, like the Mi Fit Band, things like that. I'll do a separate video on that later, and I'll put it probably in the links in the description below. You can see the Wi-Fi. I'm turning on for a sec so you can see it. Boom. Just like it always is, you know. You can see all of the different connections and stuff like that. Now, the status bar, which is probably one of the biggest things, everything about this bad boy is completely customizable. As you can see, you can go into settings with any app now. It's a little toggle to bring up the more options or less options for all the things that support it, like YouTube. You can watch this video now, you can watch it later. They have more options if you need them. You can do quick reply on Android now, so you can see I can send a message right here while my app is in the background doing its thing. It brought me to full screen because obviously I'm in landscape, but normally it would just, you can just use the screen like that. You can also archive messages straight from that. Boop. You can archive just about anything now. So that also helps you to just kind of multitask on different things. And I feel like this generation with Android N is all about multitasking and getting more productivity out of your phone. So the multitasking feature, which is pretty much what everybody is in this for, they're like, hey, you know, multitasking is cool. They finally brought that to Android, and I gotta agree. It's really one of those things where it could revolutionize the way we use Android. As you can see, I got settings and the Google Fit. They're both running flawlessly. You can even move both screens at the same time, so they're literally independent screen. You can go more or less to any side you want. And the multitasking is really cool because it actually works with pretty much any app that is in your recent drawer. So that's pretty much all of the basics of the Android N update. There's a couple more features like you can you can even bring apps that you're not supposed to technically put into multitask. And it gives you a little warning saying, yeah, this feature may or may not work. but for the most part it works. And you can see like pretty much the whole system runs pretty flawlessly. Like it's almost no lag. You can swipe from the side to get to your recent thing. That's why the recent bar is still double shaded like that, because of that. And yeah, like from a system-wide point of view, this is probably the smoothest, coolest version of Android that we've used so far. So I would just definitely say, if you're thinking about getting Android in, go for it. It's definitely worth it. If you you know, if you don't mind, or you don't have if you have another phone that's not your daily driver, links for everything is going to be in the description, as well as, you know, how to download it, where the link is, how to get the Android SDK, the Mi Fit video. Pretty much everything you're going to need is going to be in the description below in the video links part. And as always, thanks for watching. You guys have an excellent day, and see ya.